The NFL draft is officially over, which means you guys have probably had the chance to go dive into the 4 or 5 draft picks that we had just over this past weekend, but you don't really know any of the undrafted free agents. So that's what we're going to be talking about the next, 3 days, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. We'll bring you guys all the UDFAs that the Vikings have signed and just a quick summary on all of those players. So let's get right to it. But before we do, shout out to our affiliate partners at Green Gridiron. If you want one of these mini helmets, the link for that is in the description, and use the promo code MINSYN, MINSYN, at checkout to receive a small discount on your purchase. They have NFL helmets, college helmets, fully customizable ones. So if you want a mini helmet, if you want a replica helmet, one of the big ones, feel free to hit that link, use the promo code to receive that discount. And if they already have a deal going on, you can actually stack the promo code to receive even more off of that final purchase. So let's get right into it. We're going to talk about 3 undrafted free agents in this video. Stay tuned throughout the week for more and more and more. And there'll be a couple more videos today on more UDFA. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about Tyler Batty, who we signed outside linebacker from BYU. Here's a quick scouting report summary on Tyler Batty. It says a high motor edge defender with 3-down potential. Batty brings a lunch pail mentality to the trenches. His ability to set a firm edge and stack and shed in the run game will earn him early rotational snaps. In passing situations, Batty's developing rush arsenal and quick play recognition allow him to be disruptive, though his lack of elite bend may limit his ceiling as a pure speed rusher. Scheme versatility is Batty's calling card, which is good because that's what Brian Flores likes on defense, right? He's comfortable playing multiple techniques across the defensive front, making him valuable in both 4-3 and 3-4 systems. His high-level processing and on-field communication skills suggest he could quickly become a defensive signal caller. However, his frame may be maxed out, potentially limiting his ability to add significant functional strength at the next level. While far from a blue chip prospect, Batty's likely floor is of a reliable rotational piece with starter upside. His relentless motor, play strength, and ability to diagnose plays quickly make him a solid day 3 target. Teams looking for a high character, scheme flexible defender who can contribute on special teams will find value in Batty's well-rounded skill set. So obviously he wasn't a day 3 pick. He went undrafted and he signed with the Minnesota Vikings. I like what I read out of this guy. I think he has potential to be a very good rotational piece in the linebacker room, pending injuries and stuff like that. He probably won't see the field much. He definitely won't start here. At least you never know. That could be a case. But he could also be a very good special teamer. So let's move forward to the next undrafted free agent. That is Silas Bolden. Hopefully I said his name right. I apologize if I did not. There are a lot easier names this year than there was last year. But he's a wide receiver out of Texas. Let's look at some of his strengths, because we don't want to look at the weaknesses. We want to look at what they're good at and what they could potentially bring to the team. So Silas Bolden, some strengths. Often used on deep routes, getting separation down the sideline or over the middle on crossing routes by extending his arms rather than pure speed. Has elite balance, tight roping the sideline and in and out of his breaks, showing excellent start-stop ability and burst. Love that. Route running, the route technique, stuff like that. His long arms allow him to play bigger than his size, and Bolden has a frame that can carry a little bit more weight. When used downfield, he shows the ball tracking skills and hand-eye coordination to make the adjustment on underthrown balls and back shoulder throws. He's a fluid athlete with excellent short area quickness. He should be able to create separation, and he has the straight line speed to threaten down the seam. Also, Bolden tracks the ball well downfield and consistently runs under long throws. So, pretty good. There's a lot of good strengths he'd like to have. That means his body might not show that he's good or that he's tall enough or big enough to be a wide receiver, but his arms are bigger than what he leads them on to believe, if you will. So he goes up, he gets the ball, he attacks the ball, which is always something you like to see at a wide receiver, because obviously that gives him a higher chance or a better chance to make a catch, and obviously probably a better chance to make the team. Even though we have a lot of wide receivers on this roster currently, you could definitely see why Silas Bolden will or could make the Vikings 53-man roster, if not practice squad or something like that. Or maybe he's a special teamer, returning kicks, returning punts, something like that. But another decent prospect for the Minnesota Vikings. And finally, The last one of the UDFAs on this video, we'll have more coming out, is somebody that we all are familiar with, especially if you're a Minnesota sports fan. That's right. He played quarterback for the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Max Brosmer signed with the Minnesota Vikings. A little overview of Brosmer, or yeah, however you want to say his last name, Brosmer, I think is how you say it. He's confident, cerebral quarterback with average traits who proved he could play at the FBS level. Brosmer has an average arm, but throws with anticipation and a sudden release. His ball placement needs work to become more accomplished against tight man coverage, which is tough because the NFL, there's going to be a lot of tight man coverage, okay? But he can pick apart zone coverages with intermediate throws. But, obviously NFL defenses, they're going to know what he's good and what he's not good against. That could be a problem. And can do so when in rhythm, but his production nosedives when the pocket heats up and he's forced to move. Well, thankfully, we boosted, the offensive line, which is now called the Wall of St. Paul. So we'll see how well that performs this season. Brosmer's lack of mobility and second reaction playmaking hurts his chances, but he should be appealing to a play action based offense utilizing level route concepts. So this is a decent signing. This one was just, pure like happiness just because he played for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, so he stays kind of home, if you will. I know Minnesota is not where he's actually from, but as opposed to where he played college and then he goes to the NFL, it's kind of cool that it's still in Minnesota, so he doesn't have to really pack up and leave. I don't see Brosmer, as staying with the Minnesota Vikings. I believe he could make the practice squad. But as we all know, we did trade for Sam Howell this past weekend. So we have J.J. McCarthy, Sam Howell, and Brett Rippon at the quarterback position. Maybe we decide to keep Brosmer on the practice squad. I'm not 100% sure that's going to happen because historically, the last couple seasons, we've only went into the regular season with 3 quarterbacks, and then the third emergency guy was listed as the practice squad player, but gets activated during game days or whatever the case may be. So those are 3 undrafted free agents for the Minnesota Vikings. Stay tuned for more. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be much appreciated. Have a great rest of the night, folks, and Skol Vikes.